What area of the USA would you least like to live in? I lived in Gary, Indiana, and there's a reason it's called the armpit of America. Those flat states with no mountains or forests or lakes or anything seem way too boring. Not even much diversity of food choices. Detroit. I grew up there and I never want to see that damn city again. Or even go to that area in general again. The Bible Belt. Probably middle of nowhere like Mississippi or Arizona. People saying Florida and Texas for political reasons. You have to admit those states have some nice things going. Florida is pretty nice weather-wise. Close distance to Disney. And even the liberal parts of the state a nicer version of LA and NYC. Alaska. Way too cold. The Deep South. The Deep South area. That deep muggy heat would be horrible. I do like the Southern Belle accent though. Anywhere where most people say, y'all. Basically the Southeast. Also I hate cars and love cities. So nowhere that is car dependent. Any big city really. My dream home is a rural area away from people. Anywhere in Florida. Stockton, CA is a close second, though. Really anywhere south, 'cause I can't stand heat. But primarily southeast, that humidity hot face. Missouri or Alabama. I don't think I could survive the weather. The South. Sincerely, a Southerner. Douglas, Arizona. I've been to cities in third world countries that are a paradise in comparison. Nowhere. I want my free healthcare. Florida. California Central Valley nauseated face vomiting. Any flat rural grassland area with no mountains. Or any huge congested urban area. Especially in the north that gets shitty cold winters. Deep South. Bible Belt. Anywhere in the Deep South. Edit. Also Detroit and Chicago. As a Northeasterner, living in the South would be really stressful. The people are way friendlier than I'm used to. They drive slow and the governments are ran by right-wing lunatics. Mississippi. Mostly because it is full of failing infrastructure. Extremely racist. Homophobic. Transphobic. Corrupt state government, and it is socio-economically dead last. Honestly, every time I drive through Mississippi I worry something vile will happen when I am there. Super dense urban areas, the barren desert, and most of the South in general. I prefer urban sprawl to cities. In the suburb I live in, I can be in the country in probably 20 to 30 minutes. I could not survive somewhere where people are stacked one on top of the other. Any part of flyover country. Those monoculture agrarian ones. Alaska feels like the most dangerous place to be on average. Any of those Central Valley CA cities, Stockton, Bakersfield, Fresno etc. look pretty grim. Phoenix, Arizona. I love the cold and I ain't good in the heat. I would probably die. Detroit and also New Mexico and Arizona. Florida. Insofar as that I've actually been there and the regular, predictable humidity is unbearable. Any state that thinks running around with a gun in public is a God-given law. Florida, Mississippi, Texas. The South in general, really. Texas. They'd have CPS called on me for supporting my trans daughter. And my AFAB daughter. And wife. Aren't considered worthy of having bodily autonomy there. Right now Florida. Florida is about to become a prime example in what happens when politicians and nobles forget to stay in their lane. The Deep South. The states are the poorest in the nation and have the worst education and health care in the states. California, New York, Illinois, Oregon. Any part of Florida that contains Florida. Also Florida. A town in Kentucky called Elizabethtown. My friend used to live there, and every week locals would put multiple dead rats in sexual positions, horse turds and old batteries in front of his door. The Northeast Coast, crowded cities and way too cold. Any state that is always red. New England. I've lived in the Midwest, California, and Canada. I lived briefly in NE and found that the personality of the people there doesn't resonate with me. They are too blunt, loud and insular for my tastes. I do not want to live in a big city. I can't imagine not being able to see the sky or grass and trees. Just blocks and blocks of concrete and traffic, and the smell is awful. I don't know how people can stand being surrounded by people and noise all the time. The Midwest from there. I hate winter. California or Oregon, the price of living is way too high. Any place that gets super cold in the winter. California, rent's way too high. Any area. I do not want to live there. Buffalo, Cali and Texas and NYC, the big three awful fucking places to live. Ohio, 'cause I live there. West Texas is pretty awful. And you get tornadoes too. Anywhere in the middle. Flat and boring. I used to live in the Midwest, and I'd be happy to never go back up north again.